Where do you find this cold caller, guys? So the biggest thing, especially a virtual one, is you want to make sure that their accent is really clean. Okay. $5 an hour is like a fortune to these guys. I won't get into the economics of it, but pay them $5 an hour and full time, and you'll have hundreds of applicants for your job as of the time of this recording. So we actually hired a cold caller out of Bangladesh. And the reason for that is because he actually reached out to me. So he cold reached out because I have a social media presence, and I interviewed him, as I'm going to show you the way that I interview everybody else. You can hire from the Philippines. You can hire from Bangladesh or India or something like that. You can hire from, Mexico or the South America or Central America. I treat them like a proper sales team, guys. I'm with them every single morning. What's up, guys? Dan here, and in this video we're going to be going over how to hire a cold caller for your real estate wholesaling business. So guys, I know that you don't like making cold calls. Don't worry, nobody likes making cold calls. The way to do this and do it at scale without you actually having to do it is to hire a cold caller. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do it the easy way and effective way to where you're actually going to get a great person and they're going to work out really well for you. All right, guys. So getting into hiring a cold caller, guys, hiring people sounds very intimidating, and it can be for sure. I have hired dozens of people. It can be a tricky process sometimes, but I'm going to try to demystify it and give you a very step-by-step process for hiring your first cold caller and hopefully building you an awesome real estate acquisitions team. So guys, first off, I want to kind of set the stage for your expectations on this, guys. Kind of dispel some things that I think people get wrong when they start hiring people, especially virtual assistants. And as somebody who's had a team of over 20 people they've managed, I kind of understand the hiring and management process. And one thing with virtual assistants is that here we're not trying to build and just hire some people and then just abandon the business, right? And it doesn't work like that. You can't just hire a VA that you think is amazing, it's just going to handle everything for you and just check out, right? Like, it just doesn't work like that. No matter what anyone says about how their business is totally run by their VAs, it's not. Okay. Every business requires management and maintenance and your expertise to be involved, especially at this level of very beginner, one person working for you, right? Like, you need to be on top of it and really treat them like a team member and like an employee, like anybody else, whether they're here sitting next to you or in the Philippines or in wherever, you want to treat them as an employee. You need to manage them. You need to respect them, and you need to give them the guidance they need and the resources as such. Okay. And so I wanted to set that stage here because it's not a thing where you're going to hire somebody or some group of people and it's just going to be amazing, hunky-dory, step away, go sit on the beach, right? It just, from my experience and the real life experience of the other people I'm around, it just doesn't exist. And I've met people that try to portray that type of lifestyle. They aren't around very shortly after because it didn't work like they said. So getting that out of the way, guys, I have a couple of three VAs that work for me, as well as a full-time acquisitions manager. As of the recording of this video, our team is constantly growing. For a while, it was just me as a one-man show with Austin, my partner, but me basically from an acquisition side working. Then I figured that out, hired a caller now. I have a full-time video editor, and now we have a bookkeeper that is also a VA. So slowly building up our team. Just hired a full-time acquisitions guy to kind of give you some context of what it looks like. But I was making all the calls, guys. I was a cold caller, and it's very grueling, and as the owner of a business, it is especially with little accountability. Thankfully, I have a business partner, and myself that I'm accountable to. But, it's very easy to get burned out, and I would try to delegate that to a very effective cold caller as quickly as possible because the dynamic's different. A cold caller, you're typically paying hourly and, they are incentivized to continue grinding. Whereas for you, as a 100% commission, it's very easy to get burned out doing that. And so with that, guys, we're going to go out and hire a cold caller. So where do you find this cold caller, guys? So the biggest thing, especially a virtual one, is you want to make sure that their accent is really clean. Okay.
Earn. No, Aaron earned an iron earned.
So especially with real estate, guys, the client that you're talking to is an American homeowner, and they're getting spam calls, they're getting scam calls. You want this person to sound like an American or have a really clean accent or sound really good. right? And have really good English. So that's the first thing, the immediate deal breaker, right? For a good cold caller. So, a few things a few resources that you can go to find this person is onlinejobs.ph. You find that's the Philippines. Those are all Philippines. And, some of those folks, they have a really good accents. The way the language is, they generally don't have very heavy accents anyway, but they've taught English in schools. And so a lot of them have really good English and really good communication skills and really, minor accents, right? So if you can find one, there's a bunch of them out there, guys, and they're very hungry for jobs. You can pay most of the people on, different countries and stuff, $5 an hour is like a fortune to these guys. I won't get into the economics of it, but pay them $5 an hour and full time, and you'll have hundreds of applicants for your job as of the time of this recording. So we actually hired a cold caller out of Bangladesh. And the reason for that is because he actually reached out to me. So he cold reached out because I have a social media presence, and I interviewed him, as I'm going to show you the way that I interview everybody else. Very good, very hungry, good sales abilities. He's been in the industry for a few years. And so I liked him, and he passed all my tests and stuff. So we went ahead and hired him. But you can hire from the Philippines, you can hire from Bangladesh or India or something like that. You can hire from, Mexico or the South America or Central America. That can be very advantageous as well, because you may pay those folks a little bit more sometimes, but in exchange you're going to get somebody that's Hispanic and they know Spanish, right? And then, generally as well, a Hispanic accent is going to be pretty acceptable in the United States, as of course we have a large population of Hispanic speakers. And so people are very familiar and comfortable with that generally. And, the added benefit of that person can probably speak Spanish, and there's a large section of the population that does, and those are additional deals that you can do. So we'll probably be hiring a Spanish speaking caller at some point for that exact reason. But there's other countries like, Egypt, I've heard, has really good accents and really good culture there. There's a variety of places, right? So online jobs is going to be your Philippines only. Then you've got Upwork is really good. That's where you kind of go and find someone. So you just search like cold caller, right? And it'll bring up a whole list of individuals, and you go on there and you can hire them right off that website. There's also Fiverr is a good one as well. It's very similar to Upwork, same kind of thing. You can put out a job, or you can go and hire individuals. And that's a great way to find talent. The cool thing about those, as opposed to online jobs, is that they have reviews. And so you can actually see how successful that the other employers have been with that person, which makes it a very easy process to find great people. The next thing that you want to do is you're going to have a long process here of the job post, compensation, and the interview process, guys. So I'm going to abbreviate this and refer you to an awesome book called Teamwork by Natalie Dawson. And this book is very short. It's a very good read. I cannot recommend it enough. I had another guy that he's a fitness trainer, and I had him read this book. I had him follow the processes, and he's now hired in a matter of a couple of months. He's a solopreneur. He's now hired 3 VAs. They've totally revolutionized his business, the additional manpower and productivity. And he just read this book and just implemented what it said. It's very simple to do. You just read it. And it's very step by step. You do not have to be very smart to understand what they're doing and implement the information. So, I'll abbreviate what's in there, but it's going to have how to structure your job post. You're going to need core values, which are easy to figure out. It's also going to give you a step-by-step interview process as well as a management process. So there's 3 interviews. There's a cultural interview, a skills interview, and then a core values presentation interview. And so you'll run each candidate through those. They take 15 to 30 minutes each, and you can do them in as little as 2 or 3 days, all of them. So it's very short, but it's enough where you get a good picture of the person, but it's not too much to where it's too cumbersome for you. So you'll do that, and then you will then hire them, get them to start working. And then there's a management process as well in that book, which will go over, how to do your meetings, how to do your role plays, how to manage that team member, which, this is too short of a video to really get into all that. But that is a great resource that I would point you to if you're very serious about hiring somebody. I would not go any further without first reading that book. I've read a ton of management books, a ton of leadership books, and this is the most consolidated, easy to implement, understandable, proven framework for running a team that I found. So guys, yeah, that's pretty much, that's what you have to do to manage, to find and hire cold caller VA for your business. So, you're going to do that down the road. You're going to need to immediately get them on a dialer. So, some things to think about going forward is you're going to need a dialer. We use call tools here, which I'll try to put a link in the description down below. And then you're going to need to get them leads. So there's a variety of lead sources that you can pick from, but they're going to need people to dial. So if you have leads you're already getting, you can give them those. You're going to have to figure that out, guys. So there's, giving them information to call is important, and creating a system for us. We do a role play every single day in the morning. We have a morning meeting, and I treat them like a proper sales team, guys. I'm with them every single morning. You know, I work a regular schedule. I'm with these guys. I'm in the field. You know, we're all working together. I'm always available, and you can obviously set your business up however you like. But if you're really serious about wholesaling, you know, you're gonna need to be working with these guys, and you're gonna need to be, when they get a lead, you're gonna need to be able to call it. You're gonna need to be on it, right? Because if you're not, it's gonna disappear. So guys, I hope that helps. If you like that video, go ahead and hit the like button down below and hit the subscribe button if you want more awesome content about wholesaling and acquisitions and real estate, guys. So hope you like this video. I'm Dan Kohan, and I will see you in the next chapter. See ya.